Spinderella cut it up one time. Ooh.
I didn't get you.
Eye contact.
I get you.
Eye contact. Okay.
All right.
Welcome to your happy hour podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
We've got two lovely, amazing guests with us tonight. Yay! Get excited. So we're gonna let them present themselves.
Ooh, wait, before you do that, can I start the presentation?
Actually,
please.
Yeah, do it.
When you wish upon a star. Her name is
Estelle.
Oh. Welcome, Estelle.
You look like you have juicy stories.
Right?
Don't talk.
You wish you could see her face.
Yes. She is gorgeous. Just like
So, good evening, ladies. I'm happy to talk to you. And let's talk about it tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about it. So that was for our first guest, ladies and gents. Our second guest is Miss Andrea.
Mm-hmm. Hi.
beautiful name, by the way. Andrea.
So where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm born and raised in Montreal. I lived most of my life out of the city. I was 16 years in Chicago
Oh.
and 5 years in Dubai
Wow.
and back here.
You're lovely. Guys, you have to know there's when you meet people, that's the one thing I love about Montreal, is that you can literally walk on the street and you will bump into someone under the strangest circumstances and you will meet an absolute gem.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why we say come to Montreal.
Absolutely.
Come to Montreal. And what's really great is that we actually have a concierge service here. That's right. So when you come in,
No more excuses.
No more excuses.
That's right. For all you people listening, wanting to come to Montreal, our beautiful city.
yes.
Andrea, why don't you tell us a little bit about your company?
Yes, I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'm the founder of Altitude Connections. That's what it's called. I provide personal, residential, corporate concierge services around the clock and around the globe to make your life easier, more organized, and stress-free.
Mm.
So
We like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No stress.
Private assistant, right?
Seriously. I mean, like, I was on your site, because first of all, it's all about, when she said I saw connections, I was like, oh, interesting that I met Estelle, who brought you to my sphere. And it says, Altitude Connections, for each and every detail, forget stress and anxiety. Say hello to relief.
There you go.
That is
That's
so
what
nice.
I'm all about.
I saw relief. You need to have, anytime you want to sell something, put relief in it now. We're ready as a society to embrace relief.
I've been looking for services like this for years. I think it's wonderful. So what is it? Do people just come to you, and what are the different services that you offer?
They do. They come to me through my LinkedIn page, the LinkedIn page, where the social media is very strong through Facebook and Instagram. I post all the events that I do or host, and I work with many people, many partners. So it's basically like a private assistant when you need to travel, pampering, spas, you need a housekeeper, personal services. The team and I will bring the word service to a higher altitude.
Oh my God. How did you make that sound sexy?
Don't worry, people. We'll give you all the links at the end of the show.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
you'll also find it on all our social media.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why we have a lovely guest today is because we're following our Grand Prix segment. Grand Prix is coming up, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing? So we have these two lovely ladies with us, and we want to know, what is your Grand Prix style? What do you do for Grand Prix? How, personally, in your business field, have you lived Grand Prix at anywhere else? Tell us about your Grand Prix stories. Estelle, you look like you have a good story. You look like you have something to say.
They can, you know what's good about that? They can close their eyes and imagine.
Just please close your eyes, take a deep breath, and listen to my voice.
Oh, snap.
here doing that. Yes,
We should
tell
have
us.
had you on episode 4.
Yes, we should have. You guys
You
are
will
coming
come back.
You'll come back.
You'll
We're
be
You're
coming
back.
getting kidnapped by 4 girls on a mic.
So, what are your juicy stories about Grand Prix? Tell us.
What do you usually do? What do you like to do?
Okay, actually, the Grand Prix for me, as so I do work, in retail and fashion. I work for this company called Masca and Imperial, and actually, I'm the manager of Imperial Man in the Cour Montreal. So for us, we are in December, of the event. As everybody knows that Peel Street is closed, during the Grand Prix.
Actually, it's one of my favorite streets during Grand Prix.
Yeah, and there is the Moët Chandon terrace over there.
So-
She crosses the street.
So, and due to the fact that, Grand Prix sounds for me like nose, power, cars, glamour, popular as well. So I'm expecting that I have, a lot of clients and, beautiful gentlemen, coming to me and, wants to look, better and just to attend, all the glamorous, events that are organized in the city.
Okay.
And that's it. And I have to say that Alain Coton from the Chez Alexandre is one of my very best friends. I know him for so many years. And due to the fact that, he's also involved in the organization of the events, that happens since 1978, on Peel Street.
Wow.
He was offering to me last year to come and work as a PR during the 3 nights, the big nights. And I was doing that, so I was closing my store. I was having a little bit of bubbles because life without bubbles is not funny at all.
Life without bubbles is not funny at all. Nice.
And especially, during, this typical kind of event because it means a lot. It's manly. It's, it's viril.
Yeah.
They want to show, their better aspect. And of course, they want to look great, so they invest in my clothing. It's, it's high-end, fast fashion, and from Italy. And my service, of course, is, 5-star.
Did you hear that, gentlemen?
Is there champagne with that, or do I have to bring it in my bag? Let me know.
They take care of the champagne.
We're very good.
Thank you for that, Estelle. So, Andrea, so you have a concierge service.
Yes,
So
that's
Grand Prix must be like a really
It's a busy time.
high
Crazy
season
time,
for you,
Yes,
right?
Very busy time.
Yeah? So
So
can
time
you-
of the year because I get people ready before. So if they need to go to spas, facials, they want to glow, they need a hairdresser, trainer, personal trainer, dress. Even for a man, he will come take measurements.
And like make
For
you a
your
suit.
suits, your tuxedos.
Lovely.
Can always have you ready before, and then of course I sell the tickets, the party events during and after parties. There's many going on around town. Restaurant recommendations, booking for groups, limousine, a driver if you want to rent an exotic car.
Wow.
You do my years of business that I've been doing this concierge service. I've only had one request that I couldn't fulfill.
We have to announce it.
All right. Cray cray of the day. Cray cray of the day.
That's right. We just shook you up.
No, it's a small request, but it was a client who needed someone to serve the canapes in her house for an event. But she said he had to be extremely good looking and handsome.
So what, you brought up people and she was like, no? Or like,
No, I said I cannot find anybody.
Okay.
And they're all busy.
Wow.
Right?
yeah, because
Yeah.
that's like,
Touchy. It's
That's
touchy.
it. I didn't want to lose her as a client because I want to fulfill her needs.
Right.
Because that's what I do.
yeah.
But you didn't want to bring someone.
But I didn't want to disappoint
So
her.
what was
Amazing.
your crazy story, Estelle?
Okay, I don't remember, if it was 1999 or 2000, but it was, so the Grand Prix fever, and I met 2 men, but I had absolutely no clue to whom I was talking.
Okay.
Okay, and they were, pretty, nice gentlemen, very good behavior, and they offered to me, to attend a private party at like a cheval. And this gentleman, and I was in a divorce procedure, so I was,
You were single.
yeah, I was, I just needed, to do something, different, and I did accept, the invitation, so I went to like a cheval, and I was sitting at the table of Flavio Briatore himself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
I didn't know that it was.
No.
I didn't know that it was Flavio Briatore, but the man was, with him is truly. First, that was, the first time, the brand Renault was racing.
Okay.
And, and Trudy was, the driver from the race. And it was such beautiful Italian man, with such beautiful charisma. And was sitting there, Naomi Campbell, Heidi Klum, and,
That's wow.
So I had absolutely no clue. It's just like, I felt a kind of connection as I did, when I meet some very special people and I just attend the party and I've been very surprised because it was, all these people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Well, I'm sure you fit right in. I'm sure.
You know what I mean? You're fabulous.
My goodness.
You're fabulous.
You're fabulous.
Oh my God, thank you.
Okay, we stopped that we're fabulous. Can we take a moment to take that in?
1 minute of silence for the fabulousness in the room.
All of you could take a moment of silence out there.
If you're fabulous, take a moment.
There's only 7 days before Grand Prix in Montreal, but no stress, the ladies of Let's Talk About It got you covered. Shout out to our handpicked hotspots for the Grand Prix weekend: Fabergé, Spano, H4C, Atelier d'Argentine, Harlow, Spa St. James, and more to come. All the details on these amazing places will be on our F1 weekend itinerary as of June 1st at letstalkaboutitpodcast.com and on our Facebook page at facebook.com/LTAI podcast. Make sure to check it out. Come party and show us your Grand Prix style. Now back to us ladies. Talk about it, talk about it.
What's both of your styles in Grand Prix?
Like your
What's going on?
personal.
Your personal.
You know what? Actually, so the Grand Prix could be, an excuse, but actually, I think it's a part of our life to attend events, to meet people, so to go out for dinner, to go out for cigars, or to go out for, bottle of champagne somewhere. Yeah, I think it is, the kind of, the lifestyle that we all have here and share all together. And so, but the Grand Prix, so you see, for some people, it could be, time for them, to show a little bit more of glamour, to show a little bit more of extraordinary things, for them, because, it means that maybe they are going to meet, some, I don't know, movie stars, walking down the street.
Yeah,
It's true.
It's a very glamorous time.
Montreal really comes alive.
Yeah, but it's like the beginning of summer. It's like officially the beginning of summer.
Yeah,
exactly.
Formula One is exclusive everywhere in the world. I mean, we have it in Montreal, Monaco, and
Mexico.
Abu Dhabi.
Mexico also.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
See, when I think of it, I always think Montreal, Monaco, Abu Dhabi.
And
But Mexico,
That must be lovely to see.
I've heard that in Mexico it is amazing also.
Wow.
Did you live it? Did you live?
I did.
Yeah,
in Abu
because
Dhabi, it's pretty.
Angela
it's
told us
pretty,
that she used to live in Dubai for.
Yes, so all the concerts and main events and the arena and the race was in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
How would you compare it? Like Montreal, the Formula One?
No,
the people that don't
be honest.
know,
Let's talk about it.
Let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. We're candid.
No, let's talk about it because you know what? I could say I've experienced in Monaco. Quite different to here.
Yeah.
Just describe how it is in Abu Dhabi.
It's glamorous.
So like what? Like ladies are like walking in the streets in gowns? Like what is it? What's the...
No, not in streets, but I mean you have
events.
the VIP sections, you have the events. It's loud, it's the decoration. They really go all out.
All out, okay.
Yeah.
And is
But
like
there's
the
a
section-
society for that, and don't forget, it's so popular that you have countries around the area that fly in for it.
Yeah.
So it's not just the Emirates women or men that live there.
Okay.
There's a lot of foreigners.
A lot of
Yeah.
foreigners.
Okay. Because Montreal's is like a smaller place too.
Yeah.
Because we do have people coming here, but it's mostly from the States.
That's right.
It's just different.
It's a
and,
different scale.
and don't forget, when it started here, in 1978, the first event was only 4 cars parked front of the Vroom store.
Wow.
And they launched that, they were parking, 4 Ferraris, and chez Alexandre was taking care of the catering, and then it was the first event. And they started, to close the street only in 1991, I think, or 92.
Wow.
And, with the same kind of event, only 4 cars. And then, the entire street, made the decision, to do something and to cover, with something and to make it big. And later on, and I think, 2 or 3 years later, and the Crescent Street did the same thing. They closed the street. Right. But then Monsieur Creton said to me that until people were, drinking champagne, but on Crescent Street, they closed the street and they were drinking beer.
Yeah. I love it.
I mean, we still came a long way, which is nice. Every year it's getting nicer. The events that they do, I mean, the people that I work with, collaborate with, do very nice events. They've been working on this for months. So, no, it's not like how it started. It's getting there. And like you said, it's smaller here.
Yeah.
So it's
a different demographic. It's
different.
But I like that.
The geography is different.
Brings,
like you said, people come from the States. It's not people coming from all over.
But it brings, it brings economy. It brings, it brings a lot of things. It is the only period of time in Montreal that motel, when you book a reservation, they ask for minimum 3 nights and they charge you full price.
Wow.
But the rest
For
of
the hotels,
the rest of the year you can deal, you can whatever, but you can bargain. But that time, not at all.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, most places double their prices. Like restaurants,
and most hotels are busy. I'm getting calls for furnished apartments.
Yes. Oh,
definitely.
yes. I used to be very, very prosperous around that time. It was work, though. But that's what I like about Montreal is that because it's a different demographic, we also have people from all places in Europe. I used to see a lot of Europeans coming here and Asians that come, but it's not in this big throve, and you can have real intimate conversations and there's so many options during the Grand Prix.
Monsieur Creton again said to me that, for instance, there was a time that people were coming, CEO from very big, lobbies, were coming, from all over the world just to get as an excuse the Grand Prix to finally, meet, each other, to make a different. To make business, but in a different way.
I think everyone
more personal, right?
Yeah, I think everyone has their purposes, right? There's people that come here, I'm sure, for the ladies as well. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Women in Montreal?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm sitting down now. The ladies, they're guys that actually, I used to get guys who would actually call and say we're literally coming for girls.
Yeah,
for girls.
We're renowned in the world. Montreal's renowned in the world for beautiful women.
Yeah.
But women are not getting it, that they need to come Grand Prix because the dudes that are walking on the street are on another level.
Okay. The men,
really?
You know what? Because people are going out with their best foot forward. So
Yeah.
men are dressed up.
Yeah.
They're looking good.
Yeah.
You know,
They have that tan going,
they're just,
the sun's out.
People are making an effort during
They went to see Estelle to get a fitting.
Exactly.
They were taken care of by Andre.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. Though.
There you go.
They got a massage.
They are though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, that's okay.
So-
Just keep in mind that you're here for a short
That's what Montrealers go on
fairy
to.
tale
We're
experience.
going on
Don't
to-
expect him to
Yeah.
be
Of course.
Prince Charming afterwards. He might
He's
disappoint.
Prince Charming for 3 days.
Right?
Take those 3
We're back to the
days.
frog.
Yeah.
Take up.
I think,
Take the 3
I
days.
think for us local people, just the Grand Prix is just, it's casual. It's, an extraordinary casual. That's it.
It's casual and it's used to go out and look and
Have a good time.
have a
right?
good time.
The weather helps here.
It does. And it
Everybody's
really,
such in a better mood.
that's the
A
thing.
little bit of glance,
Yeah.
it brings
And do you think
some laugh.
do you agree that it launches our summers here in Montreal? That's the beginning of the Montreal
Definitely.
Yes.
summer, and then from
Exactly.
there there's just
The entire Insanson's coming out.
yeah,
Right?
Absolutely.
it's true.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like we go through, I don't know how long of a winter.
I know.
We want to say 4 to
us.
5 months. It's like 7 months out of the year. But then when summer hits, because I think people live here mostly because of the summer.
Like the summers we have here in Montreal are
It is
just
amazing.
they're
We
amazing.
don't need to book a flight, to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't want to fly away, during the summer.
No.
Absolutely not.
It's a waste of a
And you know
trip.
what? I don't even feel that I'm in Montreal because we have so many foreigners and
we do.
over. So therefore,
I
you
agree.
always have to every day you have to do the privilege, to feel that you are living in a different place.
It's so true.
Mhm.
It's true. Montreal comes alive in summer.
It does.
It really does. And Grand Prix is definitely, I think, it's the launch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the official launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the beginning. We open the door.
And we
You
say,
go out
come
in the
in.
sunlight.
Yeah.
It's soon, people. It's soon.
And it's my birthday during the Grand Prix.
Oh, yeah! Oh my
Are
God!
we invited to your party?
Have this excuse to go out, with my client.
Well, I want to be taken care of summer, fall, winter, and spring. Okay?
Taking care of them. She wants to be taken care of.
Well, I will do my part.
Yeah.
So when I'm tired and I need to figure something really.
Cheers.
Cheers! Thank you.
Mm.
And Andrea, you will hook us up even in the
Definitely.
dead of winter, right?
Definitely.
Thank
Make
you.
magic happen.
Oh, I like that.
I'd like to
Magic happen.
segue because this is what we're talking about, the Grand Prix, and I don't know. I was born without. I guess I was born with and without the competitive gene.
Competition.
Competition, and sometimes I don't really. I watch the races, but I literally watch to see the pretty cars. That's it. Go around, and I'm like, I'm done. I don't really care who wins. I think it's awesome that they're all
I
there.
like nice cars, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look at the cars. I like nice cars.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I can recognize a nice
Yeah.
car,
So do I.
but I don't necessarily know
Mm.
which brand it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I know the brands, but
I know like a Ferrari, and yeah.
that's all you need to know. Honey.
That's all you need
That's
to
all
know.
you need to
That's a
know.
Ferrari.
That right there.
I
But you
agree,
know
I
what?
like Jaguar.
But you know what? It doesn't, for me, Ferrari or Porsche or Maserati or whatever it is, finishing by E, doesn't, it has no resonance, it doesn't tell me something at all. But if we talk about Jaguar,
Yes,
or
I love
if we
Jaguar.
talk about Fronto, yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Oh la 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 la. Excuse me,
But
a pourquoi pas.
I think it's been Jaguar for years. I love
I
Jaguar.
love Jaguar.
Yeah.
I like the Jeeps that you have the sides that come off. That's where I live. I'm good.
I'm fine with the Jaguar. I
I
won't
love
say no to
comfort.
I will not say no to
It's
the
because
job.
I
Go
love
with you, girl.
comfort. I love comfort.
Oh,
Don't
me
you know
too.
Maserati or Ferrari?
Yes, I don't want to be driving.
You're on the floor.
And it's noisy, You
I
cannot
But
rest.
I must say the
It's true.
strength behind it is a little exciting.
What is that? Sorry.
The strength behind it is a little exciting. I have to say.
That's
Because it's a
true.
stock.
It's a low riding. You lie down and you spin through the air and it vibrates around
No,
you.
but you know
Think
what?
about it.
When you hold the steering wheel, there's like a strength behind it. It's
Oh.
exciting.
Mm.
So we
It's
take
powerful.
I will live vicariously through you right now.
right.
Beep, 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 beep.
There's a lot of
Sex
winking,
and the City.
winks going on, but yes, which I understand why men compare cars to women.
Okay.
They do,
But
really?
I compare cars to men.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
And then give names to their cars.
Oh, you guys are just calling it
I
now.
just compare
No, it's
it
true,
to men
though.
that I know.
All right, so you want the question.
Uh-huh.
Who here has, just is it confession time? Do we want to do, I'm going to put the question out to
Ask
somebody.
your question, girl.
Yeah.
Who here has had sex in the car? What does that talk to?
Simple.
Me,
Sybil, she named herself.
personally, found it super uncomfortable.
In the car is more uncomfortable than on the car.
In the car.
On the car is exciting. And
One
Well-
on one. One
know
on
what?
one,
Yeah,
having
that's-
sex in and around the car.
No, on the hood of the car.
But
which
don't
is
forget your
exciting.
high heels.
The stilettos, I know.
Oh.
You're going to get some very interesting mail. Dear Andrea,
Where?
I saw your skirt.
That happened, the time I'm thinking about actually happened in a garage.
Oh,
Oh.
So,
I I like that.
What I didn't plan on, and I forgot about in the heat of the moment,
Right.
is that there's cameras in garages.
Oh, I have okay, so it wasn't like a...
No, but the doorman did.
Okay.
And he was having a good time, I guess.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't a private garage. It was one, like, with many cars.
Yeah, it was, garage and condo. So, anyways.
I am throwing all sorts of holy water over that situation.
And over that mic.
But it was a very nice memory, though. I have to say, cars and stilettos.
Cars and stilettos.
Cars and stilettos. Cars and stilettos and donkey.
Absolutely.
My goodness.
A lot of cheers will go down. To cars and stilettos.
And then we have another moment of silence to take that all in.
You know, it's funny. We're here. We're such different women coming together, having all these amazing conversations, getting to know one another. And you wouldn't think that our next topic is about competition because we're pretty much on the same page right now. But we did want to get into it a bit, and in relation to Grand Prix, talking about competitiveness between women and how it shows up in our lives and what we think about that.
I think it's really sad that women cannot come together. We're such strong entities. And we bring so much to the table. Just look what we're doing right now. As you could tell, we're getting along fabulously.
Yeah.
And, you know, there shouldn't be competition. We all bring something to the table.
Exactly.
But, unfortunately, you see it all the time. Cattiness, competition, jealousy, you know, amongst women. And I think society has created this. You know, I think we fell into the trap as women because I don't think naturally we were really designed that way. Because I think that the media, for one, although we're media as well, I'm just saying we're not about that.
No, not about that
the
life.
other side of the medal.
Right.
Well, I watched the interview between Tyra Banks and Naomi Campbell that happened, 14 years of rivalry. And it was a very interesting watch. I completely understood both women. I did. It was interesting. Anyway, but Tyra Banks said some very interesting things. One of which was because of that experience that she had of that kind of competition and how much it broke her, she is doing what she does today. So, I don't think that we need to continue to learn to be excellent people and find our purpose through that kind of bullying energy, but that was interesting. And another thing was she brought up something that was called the 7 deadly sins of sisterhood, and I don't know if I disagree with the idea that women are not designed that way. I think it's just that we want to, this is just my idea.
Absolutely.
I think that we are generally designed, as for extreme feminine is designed to the point of wanting to receive and be appreciated. You got to appreciate something to want to go to it, to receive. And so it means that we need to get attention. And there's nothing wrong with wanting attention, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to be excellent. But it's the belief that we need to be more than someone else to be valued. That becomes that crutch.
Yeah.
It can be used to birth a new idea, but when you take it to the point where it's like it's running after your fear, like you're not going to be appreciated, or you're not going to be loved, or you're not going to be understood if you stand next to another woman who is shining too.
Exactly. The idea that, oh, she's so beautiful, and that it's somehow taking away from your beauty. I think that's where it's kind of warped at the same time.
But you can be beautiful and empty.
It's true.
That's true.
Definitely.
You could be beautiful, but it does play off. And when you think about someone who's beautiful and empty, who will she match with that will maintain that emptiness in her life? People who are also, lost in a way.
Of course.
Or
but it goes back to there will be no competition then.
Yeah. Trying to sit there like it's just dragging energy from someone else.
Because we're each stars.
We
shine in our own way.
Yes, we are.
Absolutely.
For different reasons.
We do.
Actually, I think women are forced to be reckoned with, actually, when they get together.
Yeah.
And to me, it's sad to see when women get together and instead are just really jealous or competitive to a point where it's not necessary.
Yeah.
But why? But do you think it's because women are more insecure?
Mm.
Do you think it's because we're more emotional? Why? Or is it a stigma that was brought onto women?
I think it's a mix of a lot of things. Like it's in human nature to want. I'm learning now. Envy is a normal feeling to have. I used to be like, if I envy someone, then I'm evil, and that doesn't make sense. Yeah. Through envying someone and wanting what they have, I learned, oh, okay, this is where I need to work on myself and find that next place. So I guess in that sense, there is a healthy competition sometimes.
Yeah.
But I do find that most times when I've experienced ugly competition between myself and another woman, it's, first of all, we've had a lot of similarities. Like we were kind of on the same path. Yeah, exactly.
We have the same definition.
Yeah.
We all have, just the only thing, it's we all have, different stories. We all have, different backgrounds. We all have, we don't come, from the same place. So of course we are all different. Yeah. But inside, without makeup, without extension, without, stilettos, just sitting there without makeup. We are all the same. Yeah. We speak the same language. We can understand each other.
Yeah, I think we want the same things as well.
And I don't want to hate you. I don't want to hate you. I want to love you. I want to love you. I want to love you. That's the only thing I want. Yeah. I don't want to compare you with someone because she's wearing a pair of fake Louboutins. I really don't care about this kind of things. I will be jealous. I could have envy about someone who has, a lot of substance, when she brings something, when she believes in something.
That's not envy. That's looking up to someone.
Yeah, but the thing,
there's a thin line, right?
You could have the envy, to be like that.
Sometimes it catches your attention.
Exactly.
Being envious catches your attention in a way that just saying, because you might not want to admit that you admire someone sometimes because it scares you to say I admire you. It could scare someone. Yeah. I completely interrupted you, but I was so passionate in the moment. I was like, the spirit is with me and I shall speak.
You are just passionate.
But envy sometimes gets your attention. It gets your attention and says, that's what you want. You're trying to pretend that you don't want it, but you want it. Yeah, exactly. And if you can recognize that quickly, you can transform it. Like Sybil taught me that shadow is not something that is bad. It's just a thing.
It's part of you.
We don't have to live there. Just acknowledge, okay, I kind of hate you right now because your boobies are all the way up in the air and it's not like mine, but then I can get over it.
I don't mind, making jokes, but I hate being a joke. Madeline Monroe.
Once you're able to switch that, I've had moments where I've been jealous and then instead of holding it in, I go up to that girl and I tell her, you know what? I think you're amazing. I really admire that about you. And in doing that, her success becomes mine. All of a sudden, I'm like rooting for her and therefore rooting for myself. I'm no longer stuck in that place where I'm angry and wanting to be better than...
As long as you speak it out, you speak out your feelings, then it belongs to you.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's it. And sitting here, having those conversations...
It's empowering.
Yeah. It is empowering.
It's a question of awareness.
Yeah, and I feel like that's not something that even a lover can bring you. I think sisterhood is really, it's an important part of my life, and it's helped me grow in ways that I can't even, right? Yeah. Like I can't, definitely. I'm so grateful for it, definitely.
And I think there's this idea that there's not enough to go around, in the sense that like, if this girl has, everything that I think is wonderful, then I can't have it because she has it. And I think that mentality needs to be switched. There is enough to go around. If she has it, it just shows that you can get it too.
Yeah,
but and actually, she has something different than you already.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're each gifted in our own way.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
But I just find it sad because sometimes I walk around and I've always been like this. If I see a woman that looks beautiful, I'll tell her. Or, I have, and I'll do, even if she's wearing something I like, or,
definitely.
I have no problem complimenting women. And you know what? I actually, many times, in this city especially, get a very bad response. from women.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know what? You're getting complimented. I personally think, getting compliments from men, not too difficult.
Is rolling her eyes.
Compliment from a woman,
Yeah.
you're doing something right.
Yeah.
You really look good.
And you know she's comfortable with herself. Like,
Right.
she's really...
But why this
Yeah.
response, though? You're getting a compliment. Why? And right away, it's funny. You feel the competitiveness. You feel the jealousy. Yet you're giving a compliment to a woman.
I think it's just insecurity.
Yeah.
They don't-
That's why I was asking.
They can't stand being part of a club where they're like the president, essentially.
But okay, be
That's
honest.
it.
Sometimes
They're
you
mad
can
at
give compliments to some people, but it's way better to don't get any answer because as soon as they open their mouth,
You want to
You
take
know.
it back?
That's my point. I want to take it back.
all the glance,
Yeah.
all the glance is away,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
turn back and you say, "Oh my Lord, thank you for being whom I am."
You were pretty for a minute. Until
Well, I will not lie.
Mm.
Some days I just wake up and I'm mad.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna take it out on somebody, and it's probably gonna be a chick that is around me because honestly, you can be in love and all this stuff, and the man who grabs your brain can really scramble them. But there's sometimes nothing more than a woman. A woman knows like how to get you, and you know how to get her.
Yeah, because we're the same.
Sometimes you just have that.
So we
And
know exactly. That's got its
exactly.
flip side.
yeah.
We know how to get under a woman's skin.
Yeah, I had a conversation actually like that, and it helped me grow. Actually, I was having a conversation yesterday, and it's I'm so tall.
She does.
I'm so tall. I was having this conversation, and it was with someone who's very dear to me,
Mhm.
and she's going through something right now.
Okay.
So her usual place that she goes when she, her dark shadow, it was easy to trigger. And so I was watching her sending signals of dominance. Like she just needed it. She needed to, that's the only way she knew how to feel comfortable in the moment.
Yeah.
And for the first time, I wasn't so triggered by what she said because she's very good. So, she was being quite, she was triggering, and it was difficult at first because I was in a vulnerable space myself. And when I was able to recognize that all she really wanted was just to feel safe, I removed myself. I don't know how I did it. I won't be able to tell you guys, but I just kind of said, you know what? I don't want to be a threat to you.
Mhm.
It doesn't make me happy to think that I'm a threat. It doesn't make me feel like, I got this and you were scared of me. I was just like, it's sad because I just wanted to give you love.
Mhm.
And that way I was able to remove myself from the equation.
Yeah.
And, and she didn't stop immediately. At one point I was just like, bitch, I know your shit and you drive me crazy right now.
Yeah.
But eventually I was just like, you know what, I love you. And I was able to give her that one moment of just, truly, this is the love I'm trying to show you.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine. I can absorb it. I'm sure that it will stop, I hope, sometime.
It's important to pull a Buddha sometimes. You have to, be the bigger person and, step out and not let it be about you for a moment. Because it's true, people have their insecurities. And most times I feel like when I have experienced that kind of competitive, weird, because once again, I do believe that there is such a thing as healthy competition.
Yeah.
I am a very competitive person, I realize. I compete mostly with myself.
I do too. I'm
Yeah.
very
I think
Yeah.
but that's where it should
I-
lie.
exactly,
You should
and that's
compare
where-
with yourself.
competitive with
And
myself.
that's the thing, and I think
Oh my
it's part of human nature. We are innately wanting to evolve and push ourselves and become better, and that's normal.
Mhm.
But I find that, like I said, pulling a Buddha on someone sometimes is important because you're gonna meet someone and they're not at that place, and we have to understand. You know what? Even the fact that you gave that person love, that's it. You walked away with it, clean cut.
Well, I had to
Yeah.
recognize that I've done
Yeah.
it before, too.
Yeah.
And I didn't necessarily even do it with another girl.
Mhm.
That sometimes I do go to dominant places where
Yeah.
I just need to feel safe. And so the fastest way for me to do it is to find a clever way to put someone down. And even though I try not to do that, it does happen. So I hope the next person sees it and goes, all right, you're just stupid right now. And just lets me, because I think I've been forgiven that before a few times. Now I can recognize. So I don't know,
It
competition.
was like your turn to
It was my
forgive.
karma.
I wrote a question. I wrote a question down, Virgo style, and I just want to go around the table. And if you guys have something to answer to that, please do.
Yes.
The question is, what's the most vivid or memorable moment you experienced competition in your life for the first time?
With another woman.
Maybe not the first time, but yeah, with another woman.
Beauty contest.
Beauty contest?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, beauty contest.
And how was that for you? Like, did you
lose your soul?
like, how did it go?
You use Vaseline in your teeth.
No, you know what? I found it, it was another Miss Bikini contest.
Mm-hmm.
And I find it very rude.
Okay.
Really rude. Some women, they were just, putting glues in my shoes and stuff like that, and cut the dress, and then when you walking on the stage, then the dress fall off.
Oh my God!
Yeah, they are doing things like that. They
That's vicious.
They bring under the carpets, rumors and stuff like that, and it's really, I said, why do I'm doing, these kind of things? Do I need that?
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to put myself, to that to understand something?
Mm-hmm.
You have a very thick skin in modeling.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's always like that, and just I hated it.
Okay.
Really, it was not. It's not me.
It didn't resonate.
I didn't recognize me at all in there, and it's not only about, and that's why I understood something. It's not only about what is happening on the stage.
Yeah.
There is also the backstage.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And the backstage, as wow.
But I find that interesting that it's in the beauty environment that I've heard women being the most vicious with each other. Even when I was in high school, it was I had long eyelashes, and these girls, when I was a teenager, made me kneel down. I was in Nigeria on the gravel. They were older than me, so they had the authority to do this. And they took opportunities to pull on my eyelashes.
Oh my gosh.
At the time, they were like, "You're wearing makeup," because we weren't allowed. So they were using. But I feel like when you see that that's very manipulated by external forces, quote unquote. I'm not going to say white, this thing, a patriarchy, da da da. It's just manipulated to make people the ugliest. Ironically,
I think it is. It is our fault. It is the way we raise, our daughters.
Mm-hmm.
We have to teach that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have a responsibility.
Yeah, we have the responsibility, to teach them that, we have to love each other, that we don't need to hate each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not because, you have to look like this, to get this kind of husband and to get involved in this kind of environment and whatever. We have to do that. And that's why, I always find there is a secret, I don't know, in the way a Lebanese woman raise their kids. Because, they're Lebanese kids are just like, honey, they're sweet, they are, and and that's something which is coming out, now, because I do really believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the way that we behave with other people or with other women, it's the way we've been raised.
Yeah.
Or environment. Yeah. So it's
the environment, yes, has definitely an impact on people.
I like what you just said, Estelle, and I'm just gonna turn the question back to Andrea.
Mm-hmm.
So you have kids, right?
I do. It's funny Estelle said that.
Right? And I was just thinking about them, like, so what do you tell your daughter? You have a daughter.
No, I do have a daughter.
Yeah.
I have a son. God bless them. They're in life.
Yeah.
And what do you tell them? What do you?
No, I don't believe in competition.
Mm.
So like she said, it's the way you raise your children.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't raised with a competition environment, and I didn't pass it on to my kids. But that she mentioned now children, I'm going to remember a story when my son was in 5th grade. He was in a soccer team. And after school, the parents would go and, cheer their kids, and it's a game and all that. But my son, played as a team player. I do believe in playing as a team player.
Yeah.
Without competition. So we were about to leave, and their team lost. So we're at the exit of the school, and some mothers were devastated.
Yeah.
How the opposite team lost.
Yeah.
and I think they were gonna take their son to the doctor, or they made such
To
a
get
big
them
deal
checked
out of
up
it,
and
to get
see-
them
yeah.
checked up.
Oh my
What?
God.
They made a big story up about it, and I'm looking at them like it's a
sad.
game.
Yeah.
Let your kids have fun.
Yeah, that's
You
the
win
thing.
some, you
First,
lose
it's
some.
healthy. It's athletic. It's a game.
There is
And
always
it's
a winner and a loser. And
Yeah.
Always.
It's a part of
I
the
mean,
game.
and
It
I see
is.
my kids when they used to play board games or games at school, and if they lost, it was no big deal. They had fun, and that was it.
Yeah.
That is the most
That's the
important.
thing.
So I do believe you carry it on.
You
I
do.
agree.
My parents gave it to me and my siblings, and I
Mhm.
gave it to my children.
Actually, that's a really good point because my father was a businessman, so you would think, he would have instated competition in me, and he really, really didn't. He really, to my parents, what was important was morals and actually
Yes.
respect to the next person,
Absolutely.
respecting myself
Yeah.
and respecting the next person. So from a very young age, I actually, I was always very sociable, and I actually always thought I could learn from someone, or I'm
Even
actually
teach something. to
teach something, but I always see strengths in people.
Mhm.
I see the best in them. There's some people.
Absolutely.
Some
Don't you
people.
feel the weakness sometimes?
Oh, I feel that too.
The what?
The
The
weaknesses.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
But I don't have the. I think where jealousy comes from me is with the opposite sex. So yes, I am jealous as far as if I have a
As far as your
partner,
man goes.
if it's my man.
Yeah.
I
different.
see.
But I have never ever. I cannot even think of once where I've actually had jealousy towards another woman.
Me neither.
No.
Yeah,
And-
can't think
I
of
can
that.
admit it.
Actually, I'm very proud of the women around me. I'm one of those women that
and
go
I
out.
usually encourage
Yeah,
them.
me
You
too.
know, if I see
I'm
you
actually
doing
really
great,
proud because I have
it's-
beautiful friends.
it's great.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that.
But I like what you ladies are saying, and like Andrea, the fact that you're saying your kids are, they're not, they weren't pushed into like this whole competitiveness world.
No, they're
But
not.
I like that it's not because you're not competitive that you're not ambitious.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And
That's
something.
true.
It's like something that we tend to link together.
Yes.
But it's not true. It's not like those two things don't go together.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
They
Okay.
don't, because you go through bad times in life, and they've seen that with me.
Mhm.
You fall, and you show
get
them that you
back
can
up.
But
get up.
how can you
Yeah.
how can you understand the real meaning of walking if you never fall down?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's true.
That's
If you look
something
at
that's kind
babies-
of hard. It's a little hard for me as an adult now. I mean, we're kind of going into that, but it's a little tough for me sometimes to accept falling. It is something I've really come to understand. It's very
I don't want to
difficult.
fall down, but
It
what?
sucks sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes
You
you know,
need
it
to
just
fall down.
Yeah.
sometimes it just happens.
Mm-hmm.
It just happen. You don't even know that you're falling.
You don't
down.
think you learn
Yeah.
from it, or it happens for a reason?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Absolutely.
And now I do recognize
Yes.
that as I fall, I do understand the value of falling. I'm just being honest with myself that as much as I understand that falling is great, it's a great catalyst for something new. It is still for me
It's
hard,
still painful.
and
Of course,
I
it's painful.
but I'm getting more and more able to admit what it is when it's happening and
Mhm.
say, okay, I'm falling now. I'm
Mhm.
feeling
I'm
pain.
on the floor.
This is an emotion. It's called pain,
Mhm.
and go. It's gonna be okay. Don't panic. Like it'll stop eventually, and there's something at the other end of it. But it's
Yeah.
all. It is
will
hard.
stop anyway. It doesn't matter. How long it will last, but it will stop. Life is a big book, and in book, there are many chapters,
Yeah.
and you are your own writer.
Mm.
So therefore, and to go to the next chapter,
Yeah.
you have to bring something to an end.
Yeah.
But it's not actually. You hand an episode of something, but your life, go further.
Yeah.
You continue going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think it's wonderful that you have 2 children.
Andrea.
Andrea. No, I remember her.
It's just the people listening,
Andrea.
just to make sure.
Andrea has 2 children, and they're of a certain age, and
Yes.
and I
They
think
are.
it's really wonderful to hear you speaking as a mother because it gives me hope for what comes next. Because I'm meeting more and more people who are younger and younger who just seem to just get it, like things that I thought were impossible as a child.
Mm-hmm.
They just understand, like bullying's not appropriate, and I can have They're speaking it.
That's
and
right.
and I think it's from not to knock the parents who came before because they were trying their best, but it's nice to see that we're actually tangibly evolving at this point where we're going to make these things something of the past. Rewrite the story.
But you have the right, to have fears. You have the right, to feel weak. You have the right, to have, to feel emotional. You have the right of that. You have the right to say no. You have also, the right to say, stop now.
Mm-hmm.
Stop now. I want to stay, on that level, for a while, just to be able, to get aware about, everything, what's just happening, behind. Just like this, I will let it go and I will go further, more, lightly and with more awareness.
Yeah.
So you have that right to say no. You have the right to feel sick. You have the right to don't want more. Or,
to feel stuck. Yeah.
We need to put some preaching music on.
You have the right.
And then you also have the right to turn around and be like, you know what? Yes.
Absolutely. Yes to what I want that I thought I couldn't have before. When I said yes to having relationships with women that I was going to feel safe in, that I was going to feel appreciated in, I was going to feel supported in, they started showing up. I didn't have a choice. I was working with like 15 women in this department, and I was like, I cannot do this old story anymore. I would be lost. So I didn't have a choice to say. I had a choice.
You had a choice.
I could have had every day there going, and this bitch looked at me funny. I said, well, you need to go kiss my ass because me. Because sometimes the stuff that's going on that we think is someone attacking us is stories in our brain. And they're just having their shit.
Most of the time.
Oh my God. I was the first curse of the podcast. No one cursed today.
Oh.
I blame you, Andrea. I blame you. You come with a very sobering effect. I like it.
But
I like it.
Some women are just plain, I have to say it, some women are just plain out bitches.
Well, maybe that's their life story. That's it. Someone needs to play the evil witch.
I'll try, but you know what?
Character.
If you keep coming at me in a bitchy way and I'm trying to be nice to you, I'm sorry, you're going to bring out something else in me, and it won't be nice.
Yeah, it's either that or you close the door on that. Like more and more, I'm like, I don't have time.
I don't have time.
I don't have time anymore.
I hear you.
I think that like by like growing like older and wiser, there's also the, there was a part when I was younger, I want everybody to like me. I felt like if you don't like me, I'm a bad person, and if you don't like me, I need to prove to you
how likable I am.
How you like me because I need to be liked.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then, as I've evolved and transformed through the years, I realized that it's just, first of all, it's not doable. Okay. And second of all, it's so exhausting.
And you know what?
That is why my name is Miss Lady Andy. Straight up.
If everybody, is going to be in love with you, it's
annoying.
Oh, you're a cheap product.
Right?
I love that. I love it.
You have to have someone special,
You have to have your
to
soul.
love you, that loves you for whom you are, because you're unique.
Yes.
Yeah, not everyone's gonna like
Exactly.
that. You might not be everybody's flavor.
No, you might not.
There's
and that's
a
cool.
quote for that. It's like, I don't want to be everyone's cup of tea.
Yes.
I'd rather be your cup of whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Raw.
Like you say
to
in
the
every single episode, and we're advocates of it. Own it.
Own it.
Absolutely.
Be yourself. It's true. And honestly, I can say that it's when I felt my most insecure that competitiveness has come out, where I felt like I needed to prove something to someone or that I had to be something more than I am in the moment.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's true that what you are, you attract. And in those moments, I attract situations where all of a sudden I'm not hot shit.
Yeah.
I feel crappy. I'm walking around and then crap comes to me because I'm just not.
You're not in your space.
Yeah, I'm not in my space, and I've had moments.
Something.
It just goes to show that it comes out really when you're feeling the most vulnerable and insecure and kind of.
Listen to yourself.
Exactly. When
Listen
you're
to this inner voice.
Yeah.
this is your guiding light.
Yeah.
Please listen to it always.
Absolutely.
So rather than like
It's
making
never wrong.
Honor yourself.
the angry girls into bad guys, it's there's word for there's
Angry girls into
bad guys. There's a message for them too, because you know. I heard Naomi Campbell trying to speak, and she's a very proud woman from what I can see. So she was being very good about it, you know. But
She's
part
got
of
anger issues, though.
but she does, and, but she was saying,
and we love it for her.
she was like, we do the media.
I think, you know, it's because it's a protection. She protects herself.
Yeah.
She was expressing.
Yeah.
She was saying that.
She's a
Listen,
Gemini, so she's
I was scared.
What?
I was scared. I was scared. I was scared. She kept trying to say in her own way that, listen, I was scared. They were telling me stuff. I was scared. I was scared. I didn't. She said to Tyra Banks, I didn't have. One thing I noticed about you was that you always had your mother with you. And Tyra Banks said she expressed why her mother was always with her, and it was as a result of Naomi Campbell, ironically, you know. But she kept saying, you know, the funny thing is that you look like my mom. You have the same birthday as my mom.
Wow.
You know, she kept telling Tyra Banks that. So
They're
she
connected.
was, they're
That's
connected. But she was, and Tyra Banks grew to blossom from that experience.
Yeah.
Whether she could have done it another way, yeah, maybe, but she did. And they were, but she was able to say, she was saying, I was hurting.
Yeah.
You could
just
admit it.
mentioned this interview, which I'm actually going to watch
Please do.
because it actually gives me another
Perspective, yeah.
maybe on Naomi Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes down to communication. I think if women were more open with each other,
Yes.
we would all see that we're actually the same people
Yeah.
inside.
Going
But
through the
first,
same
first,
struggle.
but
Yes,
we have to
that's
realize
true.
ourselves.
With
Yeah,
ourselves,
that's true.
Yeah, but you said something really interesting at the beginning of this topic, Estelle, that you were saying without the makeup, without the stilettos, without the clothes,
Exactly.
without all of that,
Yeah.
careers now, everything.
Mhm.
You know, at the end
Just
of
woman being.
Or just people,
and
Beautiful.
we're women, and I think we have the same concerns,
Struggles.
Yeah,
and
we
struggles,
do,
and
we do our
desires.
best.
No matter where we're from, look at this table. We're
Yeah.
all from different parts.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You
Yet
know,
we're all
and-
here together.
Yeah.
I find that
different careers.
amazing.
We drinking though.
What do you mean,
Alcohol,
though? It's not though.
everything.
Glasses are empty.
Our glasses are empty because we've been drinking. Don't pay no mind. Instead, she's trying to front. She's been drinking.
Water.
Water. She's been drinking water.
Bubbles.
And we've been having bubbles here, so we're great. Well, ladies, this has been really, really awesome.
Yes,
Thank you,
Amazing.
girls.
absolutely want to thank Andrea and Estelle for being with us. It was great. I hope
Our
you'll come
pleasure.
back.
It was
Mhm,
fantastic.
please.
I'd love to
do.
come back.
Please,
It
that would
was
be
nice meeting
amazing.
you.
Same here. Same
And
for
we're
us.
just going to continue our after hour.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't worry about it.
Make sure to hit up the Grand Prix, y'all. It's coming up soon.
That's right.
Don't
I'm
forget
drinking
to
the
come and
alley.
see me.
And that Moya Chandon.
No, first at Imperial Man, you know, like Como Royale.
Yeah.
And we'll give you all of Andrea's and Estelle's information so you could connect with them
Yeah.
and get whatever services you need from them. And we will catch you next week.
On the next episode of Let's Talk About It. Clink, clink, girls. Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.